Hello everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andme. Today is October the 10th, and it's the day that the World Health Organization recognizes World Mental Health Day. And I want to talk to you about this subject because it is so important and it really impacts so many women in our community and people around the world. And the theme for this year, 2022's World Mental Health Day, is that mental health and well-being should be a global priority for all. And I think that's such a powerful message, especially given the world that is shrinking around us. We're becoming very much closer in how we impact each other. And I think that recognition of a global priority for mental health is so important. Now, many of you personally have been involved with mental health issues and maybe someone in your family or a close friend. So this is going to be a difficult subject for some of you to listen to, but I want you to know that we're here for you. And this day of recognition, this October the 10th, is a day when we can maybe talk about it a little bit, get it out of the darkness and into a place where we can share with each other. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what mental health is, what mental illness is and what it looks like and how we should be sensitive to it and what we can do, to move either ourselves or others that we love, into a better place. So, the main goal of today is to promote mental health advocacy, to educate the public and to talk about mental health. Now, it went through kind of a phase over the last few years where mental illness was talked about quite a bit. It got, put into the press, and I think people started to chat about it and recognize it was a topic that was okay to discuss. But then it went kind of quiet, and I think that there's now, maybe it's just the world around us, the circumstances that we're all finding ourselves in. It's just a little bit heavy for everyone, and I know that, and I can understand how you might be thinking to yourself, well, we've got to just, we can't deal with some of this stress and anxiety and fear. But mental illness goes back often into childhood, and it's related to childhood traumas and experiences, and it's complicated. So putting all that aside, that we're kind of in this together, there are people who are dealing with mental health illness issues, and we can be sensitive to that and support each other and just be kind. I've got a story in a minute I'll tell you, but it's almost too difficult to talk about, but I'll try to get it out. So it's an example of how mental health and mental illness is not something that people can talk about. So encouraging people to talk about it, be kind to each other, and I'm always guided by this quote that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross told me about. We always criticize in other people the things that we fear most in ourselves, and that whole idea that when we see someone who's struggling, we sometimes want to, criticize and say, pull yourself together, or, be judgmental, when really there's a vulnerability in ourselves. So anyway, let's talk about what mental health is. It's actually funny, when I was putting these notes together, I was thinking, what causes mental health issues, mental illness? And stressful life situations is the answer. And it can start, as I said, in childhood and go all the way through to present moment. So financial problems, maybe it's the loss or the death of someone that's very close to you, maybe a parent at an early age, or just a traumatic experience that set things into motion. It could be a medical condition. It could be a brain injury, and it of course could be related to violence or post-war traumas. There's so many different things that contribute to mental illness. Childhood traumas, I think, are a very big one. And, how is it manifest? Well, it's manifest by changes in emotion. It's irrational, or as we call it, irrational thinking or behaviors that are associated with distress, self-hatred, fear and anxiety, and just generally problems, dealing with and navigating social situations. It could be social, school, work, whatever the situation. It's a change in emotion that is difficult to manage in those circumstances. Low self-esteem, lack of confidence. All these things can contribute to your brain just basically, shutting down and switching on various responses that are almost impossible to deal with. And it's where we need to understand this, that sometimes there's a reason, that goes way back, and it may not even be understood by the person. It could just be something that is definitely, been in their lives and woven into the tapestry of their being. So mental illness, the most important thing is there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing wrong with it. It is an illness, like other illnesses that we can manage and control. And it's just where these circumstances, these negative and difficult situations impact us so that our body just reacts and we have an illness that needs to be dealt with. Now, a lot of people will say that medications are the way, and I know there's a lot of conversation about that. I'm not in the medical field, so I can't make any recommendations, but I think most people think that there are ways, perhaps other than medication, that can help. But if that's what helps, then that's got to be the way. And I think every person who is grappling with depression, anxiety, or social difficulties will find the thing that helps them. And for some people it will be medication, some people it will be other things. And I've got at the end of this video, I want to share with you some of the things that the World Health Organization and the Association for Mental Health talk about as things you can do to kind of help yourself through these challenging times. Today may be a trigger day for some people because it is recognizing something that nobody wants to talk about. And you feel like you're alone. Well, you're not. Here on 60andme, for example, we're here for you. We have our Patreon group that is there for each other on a more personal level, and we really truly do care. We want to listen. We want to be helpful. So, one other thing to mention here, looking at my notes because I wanted to make these statistics accurate. Did you know that mental illness is common? It's nothing shameful. It's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to be embarrassed about. It's you. It's you dealing with the world that is too complex for you right now. You're giving it all the energy that you can give it. You are doing the best that you can. And there are people to help. However, it's not just to say, it's not uncommon. In the United States, nearly 1 in 5 adults has some kind of a mental illness issue, diagnosis, or feeling. 1 in 5. And that's a big number. 1 in 24 has a serious mental illness condition, which requires some treatments and some help. And 1 in 12 has a substance abuse issue or a situation that they're trying to grapple with. And often, substance abuse and drinking and so on is related to mental illness because that numbs the pain. I said earlier that you've got to find a way, and some people choose that path, and it can be very destructive, as we know. We know that this is not. And the thing that really upsets me in some ways is that people try to talk about their mental illness. They try to explain it to someone or talk to someone and say, I'm depressed or I'm feeling anxious. They use words that mean something much more to them than the person hears. But that person is either not comfortable talking about it or able to talk about it or just ignores it. And I'll just share a quick story because I think it's so powerful. I'm, as you know, many different channels here with 60andme, Instagram, YouTube, the website, Facebook, and TikTok. TikTok's new to me, and I'm one of the older people on TikTok, but a lot of conversation is with the 20, 30, 40-year-old people. And there is one situation that's going on right now with a woman who was a beauty blogger who has openly used her platform, and many bloggers and people on these channels do, to talk about her mental illness. The things she's dealing with, her self-hatred, the lack of confidence, just the difficulty in living with herself and not liking herself at all, being depressed and anxious. She's talked about this openly, and she has, I think, 13+ million followers. So, she's definitely present on TikTok. Well, an old video of hers was shown making a comment that upset some people. It was a trivial comment and it was taken out of context, but people just started bullying her and hating her, leaving really bad comments. It's been really, really bad. Right now we're in the middle of it. I don't know how it's going to resolve, but heaven help us that she's okay. She has not been back on her channel for some time. But the point I'm making here is that when someone is open about their mental health issues, be kind, be gentle. It's not like someone who's just talking about not knowing what clothes to wear, or not knowing, having some difficult agreement with someone. This is serious. And if they say they've got an issue or a problem, you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. You've got to suspend your own judgments, and you've got to love them and be kind to them. I just hope that things work out for her. But what can you do to stop your own feelings of depression or anxiety if you are feeling them? And here's some positive things that you can do. This is the I think it's the Mental Health Association. I'm sorry, I've got the direct reference, but this list of things is everywhere, and I think they make perfect sense. And maybe there are things that will help you today if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, or just a little bit, dealing with your mental illness issues and wanting to establish some mental health. So here's what is, this: eat good food. Food feeds the brain. The brain is what is managing this whole conversation with yourself. So eat good food and take care of yourself. Second is to drink sensibly. Needless to say, I'm talking about excesses of drinking and also smoking and other things that hurt you in some ways. But, again, we've got coping mechanisms. We have to do it. Keep in contact with friends. Don't give up on your friends. Try reaching out to them. If they don't hear you, just try again. I think most people want to help. The other thing is to learn a new skill. Try something different. Maybe you're not succeeding at something that is making you feel insecure. Try something different. Reduce stress and do the things that you love. Be with the people that you love. You don't have to please everybody right now. You're giving all the energy that you can to your life, to your challenges, and to your situation. And I'm talking now as if I'm talking to you, but this could be talking to a friend, or you could be talking to a parent or someone else. Tell them to do these things. Take time out for your own well-being and accept who you are. Just accept who you are. We're not perfect. We're flawed. We're broken. We're, as Hemingway, or I think it was Leonard Cohen said, we're all broken, but that's how the light gets in. And we've got to let the light come in today. This is October the 10th. This is World Mental Health Day. And here at 60andme, we are doing everything we can to work in a way that can offer you some solutions, offer you some help, offer you some support. We're not judging. Honestly, we're here for you. Get out into nature, keep moving, do things that take your mind off of this situation. But then if you need to talk to someone, reach out, please. Please reach out. Reach out here at 60andme, reach out with your friends, family, and if necessary, go to a professional, but just do something about it. Help yourself, okay? And be curious and open to new opportunities, because that's how you'll move forward through this situation. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I send you all my love. And if you are dealing with a mental health issue, or someone that is dear to you know that this is the day to start a conversation and to give them a hug and to let them know they're not alone and that they are precious to you and that you're precious to yourself. Okay? So take really good care, everybody. Have a great October 10th and a good day overall. Know that I love you, respect you, and just stay safe and strong. It's okay. Take care, everybody.